Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the season 2 of For the Record. I am your host, Sunny David. I wish you all are doing great. Today, with me, I have Akshay Kapoor, who you may know as the founder and the editor at Indian Music Diaries, and an A&R manager at Believe Music, and a fellow musician at Chabi Music. Hi, Akshay. How are you doing?
I'm great, David. Thank you so much for having me today.
It's a pleasure. Uh, how's it been? I mean, 5 years of the Indian Music Diaries, more than 5 years of Indian Music Diaries. Now, how's the journey been? How's it? How does it stand today? And how do you feel right now with your project?
I think the journey has been full of ups and downs. It's been a roller coaster ride, to say the least. Um, I think we've done great progress since the time that we began until now. We've tried to expand the kind of things we write about and the kind of musicians that we write about. So I think it's been a great journey, and the testament to that is the kind of followership that we've been able to develop over the years.
Right.
I think that's a small testament to the work that we've done.
Definitely, definitely. Talking about its journey, how did it come about? Was this an idea you got randomly just sitting around with your buddies, or how was it? Like, I'm fascinated about it because it's quite a it's one of a kind project, and like basically even our project, this For the Record podcast, was inspired by to some extent by the Indian Music Diary. So how did it come about?
Okay, so it's kind of a funny story because I was sitting drunk one night, and I was frustrated by the fact that a lot of publications present at that time weren't covering the new music that I was discovering in my own city. And I thought that somebody ought to do something about that. And I sat that night, and I basically thought of a name. I thought of I made the logo on Photoshop. I don't really know how to operate Photoshop, but I did it anyway. And I put out one post, and in the morning I decided, okay, I have done this in a drunken state, but do I follow this up? And since that day, I've been kind of doing this.
Right. Definitely. Makes sense. Makes sense. Talking about going on that tangent where you mentioned how the mainstream media does not really cover the indie talent in our nation. Uh, do you think the state is better now than it was like 10 years ago or 5 years ago?
Of
Because
course, I think, yeah, I
yeah, sure.
do think the status is the situation is better because a lot of musicians are gaining popularity and are gaining the listenership that demands coverage by other publications as well.
Right.
A lot of newspapers have started covering musicians, at least the popular musicians in the independent music scene. So
Right.
I kind of do think that things are changing.
Yeah, definitely. But it's this always bugs me a bit, like with the population our nation has, which is about, I guess, 20% of the entire world. Uh,
Hmm.
we see the Australian music scene booming with artists like Babe Rainbow, Tame Impala, King Gizzard. We see the Japanese music scene booming. We see the K-pop
Hmm.
music scene booming, and even the Spanish, Mexican music scene booming. But I don't really see Indian artists appreciated worldwide. Do you think there's a particular reason for that?
Yes, of course, there's a particular reason for that. It is because of the fact that the popular form of music in India is
Right.
Bollywood, and
Definitely.
that is our, if you could say, that is our projection and representation to the world. So the world does listen to Bollywood. We all know that, right? We all
Definitely.
keep seeing these people from abroad keep on making dance videos on it, or like
Definitely.
people kind of recreating Shah Rukh Khan videos and all of that jazz,
Definitely.
right?
Definitely.
So the thing is that the representation that we have towards of music towards the world right now is Bollywood, and I think that might definitely change in some time, and it is obviously changing as of now as well, because like Barack Obama put out a list in, I think, 2019, which had
Yeah,
Pratik
Pratik
Kaur's
Ohad,
song, right?
definitely.
So it is changing little by little,
Right.
and the perception is definitely becoming more balanced towards the indie belt as well, and that is because of the kind of music that is coming out of the indie belt.
Right. Definitely. Yeah. Makes sense. Uh, it's also an interesting topic to discuss how the even the live scene is helping out on this front, because I have my own band that we play that cover songs and play live music all over Pune.
Hmm.
But the trend that we have noticed is that there's a lot of, let's say, priority or importance given to singer songwriters today rather than,
Hmm.
complete bands, because I guess it's more affordable even for the venues. And
Yeah.
in general, I guess it attracts more crowd rather, like, experimental bands, prog bands, they don't really bring in that amount of cloud into the venue. So how would you, let's how do I put this correctly, how would you suggest artists that rely on their bands, or, like, bands in general, go about doing this? Because bands receive, like, I guess, exponentially less attention than, singer songwriters do today. What would you suggest? How does your perception of the scene and your experience dictate this matter?
I think the most important thing to notice is that bands don't cultivate, a lot of bands don't cultivate their own audience. That's a very important bit when it comes to booking any artist, right?
Right.
The promoter books a particular act because they think that booking this act will bring in people to the venue, right?
Right.
So that is the most important thing for the promoter, not the music, and it's
Right.
totally justifiable, right? That guy is running a business.
Definitely.
So the bit of advice that I have is cultivate your own audience,
Right.
have a community that is kind of standing up to you and coming for your shows on a regular basis, and you will see things change for you, because like we have seen a lot of bands from the country follow this model, and they've been successful. For example,
Definitely.
Peter Cat Recording Company, right?
Yeah.
That's a band that has regularly interacted with fans in such a way so as to develop a community. And in the past, they've done shows even without a venue and sold out. So those kind of things will happen only when you have a strong community in place.
Definitely. Definitely. Do you think labels play a large role in building this community? Because today, the indie musician, the indie bands, they juggle between two things. They have a job, they have their
Hmm.
music, they work on, they have some other thing going on. Do you think labels are a way in today's, uh, digital age where they can, provide the facilities to build a community? Because even even me being a, a musician, it is tough building a community, because like, frankly speaking, uh, no one really cares for your music unless and until you have a bit of a following, it matters
Hmm.
somewhere or the other,
Hmm.
it matters. So do you think
Hmm.
labels can help out in that as an A&R manager?
Um, that's a very tough question to answer because of the trend that we're kind of seeing in the industry right now, right? Most of the independent acts are not signed to a label, as we already know,
Yeah.
and a lot of those independent acts are doing great for themselves. I mean, they've developed the following, they've developed a loyal fan base, and that is without the help of the label. So
Definitely.
the data kind of points towards the opposite direction. While on the other hand, I'd say that labels in essence can provide the support and the growth trajectory that the particular musician needs, but it is totally dependent on the fact that
Yeah.
um, what kind of structure are you getting into the label with, and that's really important. And I've seen that a lot of independent artists don't really know what a label does, or probably what they can what kind of deal structures that these labels can follow. So
Right.
it's very important that you know where you want to be, and you know how you want to get there at,
Right.
be it with a label or be it without a label.
Definitely.
I think that's very important to answer for yourself.
Definitely makes sense. So, uh, following the tangent of building a following, uh,
Hmm.
i'm I'm pretty sure like publications your own and like the Rolling Stone or the Wild City help a lot in getting some traction and getting a following. So as an insider, as an editor who, I guess, you might be choosing artists you wish to cover for, what do you look for an artist when you think that okay, this artist is worth covering and this artist deserves some attention?
Okay, so I, as a music listener, even before I started the publication, I always have gravitated towards meaningful music. Firstly, I've gravitated towards interesting music, and still that is something that that is what I look for when we are covering music. And I, as a music listener, have never taken note of, okay, I'm into this particular genre, or I won't listen to this kind of a genre, because I listen to everything from a Indian classical to a deep techno. So
Right.
I make it a point that I also impart those editorial qualities to the publication
Right.
as well. So we
Right.
cover everything from um, like I said, like Indian classical fusion to folk to jazz to funk to
Right.
metal to and the likes.
Right.
And the fact that we want to keep the publication genre agnostic, that is also something that I really like about something that we've been able to do.
Definitely makes sense. That's great. And how does this differ when you are acting on your role as an A&R manager? What do you look for an artist? What do you look for in an artist then when you're keeping aside the publication? When you are considering someone to for the label, what do you consider at that time?
I think what A&R managers across the globe consider when they're trying to onboard an act is how much they believe in the act, and how much they believe they can grow the act. I think these are two very important things when all A&R managers are kind of searching for acts.
Right.
um, Obviously the music should be great, and the the basic numbers should be in place. They should have had some basic fan base already, things like that, but that comes later. if
Right.
the if the manager if the basic things, like if the manager kind of doesn't believe in the act, then the whole thing kind of falls through. So I personally also look for those kind of things in the acts that I try to talk to and onboard.
Definitely. Definitely. What do you think are the music genres that are currently coming up and should be noticed, in your opinion, currently? Because currently hip hop is quite dominating the scene.
Hmm.
uh, hip hop is getting a lot of traction. What would you consider would be the next boom?
The next boom, I
Right,
think electronic music is
right,
the next boom.
definitely.
I'm not really sure which subgenre of electronic music will come, um, but I do think there is a lot of potential in that whole community,
Right,
and yeah, so I think that's one particular genre that I think is up and coming. We've
definitely,
already seen hip hop, and we've already seen the whole singer songwriter scene blow up. So I think after
definitely.
that, it should be the electronic scene.
Considering the hip hop scene, and you covering it a lot, what do you think of the culture of competition prevalent in the scene, especially between the cities? They're like the Mumbai scene kind of always disses the Bangalore scene, and it's the opposite, and the Delhi scene is completely different from the Mumbai scene. What do you think about this competition culture present in the scene? Is it healthy?
I I do think it's healthy. I do think it's in good humor,
Right,
and it kind of develops like a cult following of artists from their own city. I think as well.
definitely.
I think this has obviously has its root in the hip hop culture of getting together and supporting each other. So when people get together, they obviously form a community, and since hip hop is anyway kind of very uh, you know competition based, so I think
Braggadocious,
that's
yeah,
yeah, exactly. So I think that's what comes into
definitely,
play
definitely,
here as well. But I do think it's very interesting to see.
definitely. Talking about your own music, Akshay, uh, how like let's go to the start. What was the start of your interest in music? What were the bands you initially, or what was the music you initially fell in love with?
Okay, so I think um, till about seventh, eighth, I used to listen to a lot of Hindi oldies, Bollywood, and those kind of things. I think sixth, seventh, eighth is about the time that I started discovering some English music, which is basically I think a lot of pop music that was coming around at that time. I think I do remember hearing Venga Boys at that time. I don't know why, but the proper music that I kind of fell in love to
Right,
was Linkin Park when I heard it in my school. I
right,
think that was around the ninth grade,
right,
and since then I've been trying to discover rock, discover metal, and for a lot of years I was into the rock and metal scene. But I think around the time when I got into college, I started diversifying into other genres. I just started discovering other kinds of music, um, and that is when I didn't stop discovering and didn't stop diversifying, because um I like on a given day I kind of switch between a lot of genres, and I really like that about how I listen to music, because um I think there's beauty in all different kinds of
definitely,
music.
definitely. Uh, who's been your greatest influence with Chavi? Who do you know?
Okay.
Yeah,
Hmm. uh, I think I would just note my particular favorites, and I
yeah,
think that might translate into influences here for my project as well. I think Radiohead has been one of my
definitely.
all-time favorite bands. I used to listen to a lot of Alter Bridge as
Right,
well when I was in college. Then Opeth. is one of my all-time favorite bands, and um, and Elliott Smith is one of the artists that I genuinely really love. So probably a mix of the sensibilities of all these four acts.
Definitely, definitely. And uh, while you write your own music, do you consider feedback from your listening base, or do you completely rely on your creative freedom for this?
I think see, a lot of people do that. A lot of people resort to taking feedback from their respective communities when it comes to the sound that they're developing. But on the
Definitely.
other hand, I think there's beauty in doing something that you initially had thought of, and even if you decide to change the sound in between, it is totally the call that you make on the project's behalf. So I
Definitely.
think I particularly haven't ever delve into discussing or probably taking cues of the sound
Right.
from the fan base, or if I could say it's a fan base. I think we're just as of now we're just still developing the sound that we're going for.
Definitely. Have you had formal music lessons, Akshay, or was it just a hobby you
I
picked up?
haven't I
Okay.
haven't actually. I've never learned music full time,
Right.
and I took guitar lessons when I was in college, but I've been uh, playing since about I think about 10 years now, and
Right.
everything that I've learned is actually through listening and observing my own favorite acts. I
Right.
basically you know um, uh, basically try to learn from the people I listen to, and I think I picked up the piano 1.5 years back as well, and I've been trying to learn that instrument as well. And
Definitely.
I think it's about time that I kind of took some training in that department.
Definitely. How's the experience being? How's the experience touring been? Like, have you toured cities or just played venues locally within your city?
We only have played venues within the city as of now,
Right.
and there has been no touring in the mix. But I think 1 year, 2 year down the line, we would love to kind of do that as well.
Definitely. All right. So this is quite a loaded question. What does music mean to you, Akshay? Because you're completely involved in
Whoa.
it, start to finish of the day. So I guess it's going to be quite something. So I'd like to know.
This is definitely a very loaded question because when your work also becomes music, right? You start looking at things very differently.
Right.
Um, Before this, I used to be in advertising, and my go-to comfort zone was, okay, let's play some music so I can take my stress off, or I can enjoy, or whatever. But now the start to end of my days, music, like you said. So music has definitely changed the meaning for me. What I've discovered is that there is merit in commercial music as well. In commercial
Definitely.
music as well, there are a lot of artists who are trying to do interesting work, and that perception has come through the work that I have been doing over the past year. But still, I have not shied away from discovering new artists and discovering new genres, and just tripping over an artist at 2 a.m. in the night and just hearing their whole discography and everything. So that hasn't changed, and I hope that won't change anytime soon.
Right. Definitely. What more interests you other than music? I see. I while going through your profile, I saw you do write as well. So
Yes.
is that something you're interested in a lot?
Yes, I've been writing for a couple of years now, and
Right.
since I was a child, I was very interested in writing, and since I think the last 6 7 years, I've been collating all the stuff that I write, and I basically have almost like a big ass poetry book right now ready to publish, and I think that will happen someday soon. Other than that, I absolutely enjoy a lot of different forms of art, especially especially cinema. I'm a huge cinema buff, and and even in that, I have a couple of favorite genres and things like that. I think horror is one of my favorite all-time genres, and sci-fi, and if sci-fi and horror come together, then there's nothing like it.
Right.
So yeah, so I keep on discovering new movies, and I keep going back to the 60s, 70s, 80s as well, to discover different movies that came around at that time. So I think music, cinema are definitely some of the things I really enjoy, and
Definitely.
sometimes I pick up a book or two as well.
Right. Talking about sci-fi horror, actually, do you game? Because I feel games would be a great medium for you to experience that. Like games like Prey, Alien, absolutely amazing to feel get that rush that you desire with sci-fi horror. You should definitely try some games out.
Unfortunately, I've not been into gaming ever. I
Right.
think I would love to explore that whole bit as well,
Right.
but I don't know. I just have a perception that I'll basically spend a lot of time in gaming, and I think that
Well,
I could just like spend that time doing something else,
makes sense.
um, something related to work or something related to discovering things. So that
Well,
way.
yeah, definitely makes sense. But I would also really, you know, suggest that check out music that are related to games, like the OSTs for games, and
Hmm.
people like Mick Gordon do amazing stuff with the Doom soundtrack, and you know, I really think you'll enjoy that kind of stuff because it's it goes quite unnoticed, but it plays a very important role in setting the atmosphere and delivering the story in games. So I guess you should really check out music in games as well. I think
Absolutely, I
I think
love to
it'll be
do
a
that.
good point to cover someday in your
Hmm.
you know uh, project, right?
Absolutely. I think I'm forgetting the name right now, but I think it's Shazan Sheikh from
Right.
Providence. I think he does a lot of game scoring. I think
Right.
he won a award also recently. So yeah,
Definitely.
a lot of people from India are kind of getting into this whole game, and um,
Exactly. Yes.
it's very interesting to kind of hear that.
Definitely. Now, Akshay, as a fellow musician and as a aspiring, artist, and as an insider, I would like an insider or other someone who observe the scene regularly from a perspective that what would you say? What would you suggest an upcoming artist like me to do apart from just improving on music? Because uh, as we know, there's a lot to an artist's personality than just the music. So what would you suggest to someone like me or an upcoming aspiring artist?
I would say be clever. Be clever about the things that you do.
Right.
Um, Musicians don't realize that it's not just music.
Right.
Music is a very big component of the thing that you're doing, but it's not just music. It's a lot more than that. It's how you handle your social media, how you interact with your fans,
Right.
what kind of themes are you playing around with in your music, what kind of music videos are you doing, what kind of new things are you trying to achieve? So I think that's something that a lot of musicians don't pay attention to, right?
Yeah,
They think that okay, हमने music निकाल दिया and that's about it.
right.
But it's not just that, it's a lot more than that. So
Definitely.
I would say the other soft skills need to be developed as well, and be smart about what you do, I think.
Right. So, what would you suggest the musicians that uh, venture in, let's say, obscure genres? Like, for example, I mostly am into psychedelic rock and into
Hmm.
that, producing that and playing that. And in my experience, there isn't a large audience for it in my locality. I wouldn't say India. There might be. I haven't reached that big of a stage yet, but in my locality there isn't an audience for psychedelic rock because half of the people don't even know what it is. So in that circumstance, what would you think is a good, a plan or a strategy to follow to make yourself get noticed within the scene?
Okay, so now the best part is that people don't need to know what genre you're from to enjoy your music, right?
Definitely.
That's the best part. As of now, we've reached a point that a lot of these discovery related things are in the hands of the artist. um, they basically have a lot of control in their hand as to how they project the music and how they make other people discover the music. So I would say, um, if I could, particularly talk about the project that you have, I think experiment with the language, experiment with producing um, catch simpler or groovier forms of music,
Right.
and try basically reaching out to these discovery platforms, which is basically Spotify. Try to get your song placed in different kind of playlists,
Right.
because that is one of the most important things when it comes to other people connecting and discovering your music, right?
Right.
I think uh, i think that's something that should be done. I've seen so many musicians who make great music, but they are so staunch on just sticking to one kind of thing that they're doing. I mean, like, go for it, experiment with the kind of things that you're doing. You
Definitely.
never know what you might click with and what other people might click with. So
Right.
that's something that I would advise.
Definitely. All right. All right. Thanks, Akshay. That's going to be it for now from my side. Uh, would you like to discuss anything? Do you have anything to talk about? I'm open to discuss anything, but yeah. Do you have anything?
Not really right now.
Right. Sure. 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 Okay then. Like one last thing I would like to ask you is, uh, with the perspective of our podcast that we have just started,
Hmm.
and you being one of our inspirations from the start, do you have any advice for us? Like, what should we do?
Absolutely.
Sure.
I think you guys have the basics already in place. You guys are trying to develop a community and are doing that in a very focused direction. So I think the continuity needs to be there. I think
Right.
that's very important when it comes to developing things, because people do it for some time and they're like, okay, this is not working out, so we're not going to do this anymore. I
Right.
think, um, like, I always believe in the fact that mountains don't get built in a day. So
Definitely.
you keep at it and you keep working in that direction, and one day you're going to see a tipping point, at which, like, a lot of people will start discovering the work that you've been doing. So I
Definitely.
think that direction and the kind of effort that needs to go into that direction, that needs to be maintained. Other than that, I would say, um, you as well can experiment with different forms and different themes. So I would love to brainstorm that with you later, and maybe we could find something out.
Definitely, definitely. All right, Akshay. Thanks for coming on. It's been a pleasure talking to you. I've gathered great insight into the industry and what you do, and even your music. And I'm excited to have you again sometime. I'm sure you'd like to be as well.
Absolutely.
Yes, right.
Yeah.
All right then. Thanks, Akshay. That's going to be it from for this episode.
Thank you so much for having me, Sanat.